Hi there. I just kind of want to use today's video to talk about where sort of I'm at with this channel and this sort of filming process. It's been a really great and awful year so far, and I think if you watch my videos up till this point, I think that you can get that vibe that there's been some really amazing moments and some really low moments, and maybe that's not particular to this year. Maybe that's just how every year has always been. I just wasn't actively documenting it, so I couldn't particularly take note of every single thing that was going right and wrong. It's been really, really magical filming every day. Or rather, posting a video every day. I haven't been filming every single day, but, filming throughout the year. And I'm really realizing that I'm right on the brink of potentially having a real audience. I feel like I'm getting a person here interested in me that didn't know me before, a person here, and obviously the view count is still small, but you can do a lot with just like a small handful. And I'm realizing what's primarily attracting more and more people. What happened was I did that month of spiritual questions. Just answering a handful of questions from sort of a spiritual perspective. I did it mostly to get myself used to it because I'm very passionate about that. Those are all the kind of books I like to read. That's a lot of what I like to listen to in my spare time is just spiritual related content. And I think that is probably the reason why people like listening to that when I talk about that, is that I am just very passionate about that, and you can feel that coming off of me. But the stuff that you're most passionate about is, of course, the stuff that you're most nervous to talk about, because I'm constantly worried that I'm coming across as pretentious, or that I'm delivering ideas that are from a very low consciousness standpoint, and as I get further along this path, what I say, I'm just like, wow, that's garbage. Like, I'm worried about being wrong and realizing that in the future. And of course, I'm also worried about being a hypocrite. I'm worried about talking about ideas that I don't actually follow in my day-to-day. And I think I try to make that clear every single time I make a video, is like, acting this way, following this path, I'm not doing it perfectly. Some days I'm not even doing it remotely well. And I hope in that way I can also be a good role model, although the word role model I think has been sort of corrupted. But I think I can be sort of a person that you recognize is achievable, because even he is not 1000%. I'm realizing that's a big draw. That's like the biggest draw that I've had from doing this, is just spiritual stuff. And that's wonderful. That's wonderful to find out, because that means that's where my real potential lies. I was journaling recently saying, hey, I think I've made the realization that I can make a living potentially off of spewing spiritual jargon. That's a bad way of putting it, but you know what I mean. Like, I can get lost in that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't really feel like I'm brute forcing it. But it's sort of a calling card that I think I need to stop viewing this as just sort of a throw it away day by day kind of thing. Soon. I feel like there's a leap I'm going to make at some point, and I don't know about making it yet. It's always that point, right? It's always that point right before you realize what you can do, that everything gets super scary and you start thinking about every reason why you shouldn't do it. It's been wonderful filming every day, and I went into this year with the goal that I would, film every single day the entire year. And hey, I might still. but I feel like I can increase the quality of my videos and increase the viewership and just generally be more excited to show it to people. I feel like I'm like right on the brink of making consistently really good stuff, and there's still some air of like, oh, but I'm just throwing this away because I don't actually commit to it completely. And I'm happy that I gave myself that period. I tried having an online presence back in like 2017, told everybody about it, made stuff that was very much for the audience. Like, oh, do you think this is funny? Does this catch your attention? But what about this? What about this? What about this? And I got burned and miserable on that after about 3 or 4 months. I feel like this is a real opportunity to make stuff that I really like making, that I think is really, really cool. And that passion can come off the screen. And I think it is by following more of those. I wish there was a better word for it than spiritual, but yeah, by following those spiritual themes. I think that is where I'm going to find my path. And it's great because it makes me want to be continuously doing that kind of work that gives me good insights to share with you on video every single day. It becomes not just videos I'm making, but a lifestyle. That's the great thing about spiritual stuff, is that it's entertaining in the abstract, and I think it has a practical application virtually everywhere in your day-to-day. There's the spiritual world and there's the human world, and you realize that, hey, the human world was always the same with the spiritual world. You just didn't realize it before. These videos can raise my vibration, as they say so cringily. No, there's nothing cringy about it. I just really see how good I can be these days. And I'm not totally sure that my format is always going to support that. And that's great and terrifying. I need to go smell some incense.